Hello. Just want to talk about, as I'm driving, Arionne Curry, Martell Holt, Melody, and we all know that Arionne did the video with Tasha K on, like, live, the first person she spoke to out of all this back and forth and, you know, the shows and the reunions. This is her first time speaking out. I'm going to give my opinion and ask some, to me, important questions. So the interview starts, and Tasha K and Arionne apparently have some kind of relationship, and Tasha K seems to be, like, you know, keeping it real with her. Arionne's appearance, I can see why Martell picked up on her. I can see why he, you know, liked her, fell in love with her, had a child with her. But the interview starts with the questions. Let's walk us through how you two met. And they met by way of somebody's cousin at a barbecue, and he pursued her after that. They exchanged numbers, and what I find odd is no one at that barbecue knew Martell was married. How was everybody comfortable watching them interact? Because what you can't tell me is, if you are feeling somebody at a party, at a barbecue, you're not going to be up on them and trying to get their number and exchange, you know, whatever. But Martell is a liar and he's crazy. So he might have slid her his number on the low, and it just, you know, nobody noticed it. But I find it odd that you went to a barbecue where people knew both of you individually, but nobody said, oh, he's married, or mentioned your wife. Like, I go to places and somebody will say, oh, hey, how's Tommy doing? It's just a general comment. So whatever. They met. He called her the next day, she said, or later on that night. They went on dates and they had a relationship. So the question was then, did he ever tell you he was married? And I'm like, why would you ask that question? Ain't no man who's slipping and sliding gonna tell you he's married. But in my mind, at some point, you had to have seen this man's wedding band. Maybe he don't wear it when he out in the streets doing what he do. I don't know. It's just a couple of things that I picked up on that don't seem right. And, you know, Martell's sole comment has always been she did things that Melody wouldn't do, namely fellatio. And I'm like, really? So because she gave you head every day, that was more important than this woman you have been with since college and had 4 children with? 3 at the time children with. I don't quite understand that, but Martell he's never been, oh my gosh, Martell is so cute. Sorry, Martell has never been cute to me. He just looks like a weasel. He just does. And they went out to dinner, she said. They were never, like, secretive where he didn't take her places or he didn't have her exposed in different lights. He did. So, you know, what point did he tell you he was married when she said he was spending the night? And I'm like, spending the night too? So Melody, was he telling you he was on business trips? Was he telling you he was at work overnight? Like, again, missing pieces to this puzzle. So, you know, Martell called her a peasant, he called her this, he called her that, and she continued to stay with him. My opinion on that is, once you address me or indicate that I am beneath you and lower than, we have nothing more to talk about. And maybe you're doing it for TV, who knows? Tasha K then asked her, would you be interested in being on the show? And she said yes. But then Melody said she wouldn't film because she is one of the executive producers, which is understandable because Melody would look stupid with Martell trying to play both sides, but he's doing it in real life. So what's the difference? She then goes on to say that she had 2 abortions from Martell, and he paid for both of them. She had 1 abortion and she miscarried with another, and then she got pregnant at the same time as Melody, which is really random. And like, how did that, like, again, another red flag, because that makes no sense. How do you impregnate two women round about the same damn time and you have been having sex all this time? Like, it's just holes in the story. Holes in the story. Tasha K asked her at some point, do you feel like Melody deserves an apology? And she said no. And I'm like, you only apologize when you're sorry for doing what you did, but you weren't sorry. You have no remorse because now you're with her, man. And it's what it is. Melody, I wouldn't expect an apology if she had known. Let me think. If she had not known and her and Martell had a relationship for longer than, I don't know, let's say 6 months, and they're going out and they're hanging out and Martell is not giving her any indication that she is married. He's spending days and nights. But there are times when you wonder, why am I calling you and you're not answering the phone? Or why you're not at my house? Or why we're not going on vacation? Why are we not doing this, that, and the third? If we're in a relationship, a true 100% relationship, the gaps in time just don't work for me. I'm sorry. There's just holes in the story, like I keep saying. And once they asked her, when you found out, why didn't you end it? And she said, because I was young and in love. No, it's because you're young and you wanted that man, period. And you didn't give a damn. At that point, you said, I don't care if he's married. He's still mine and I'm staying with him. And I don't care about anything else. So that's why I feel that she doesn't want to apologize, because she wasn't sorry. She's not sorry. She will never be sorry until it's her on the other end of the stick. Martell now is with her, she said, but not in so many words. She said she has called Martell's phone, and he had 2 phones, and Melody picked up one of the phones, and they talked, and apparently they now speak, or they spoke more frequently than not. I don't understand the relationship. Is it for the children? Don't know. She didn't say anything about that. And Tasha K asked her, well, at some point your children are going to have to interact, especially being that they're damn near the same age within some months. So you have to set a boundary, co-parent, co-sister wife, co-ex-wife wife. Like, you have to do something, or don't. But again, the common denominator is Martell Holt. He's just a shady, shisty individual, and he wants what he wants when he wants it. Martell seems to be poor now because the show has wrapped. No one wants to work with him. He's toxic for, I guess, business plans, because everybody knows all his business. And in the real world, that don't work. So I think Arionne, she mentioned she was in school for nursing, and she had to quit school for a while, and she went back. She already had a child, and you know, she is a side chick. Excuse me, she was a side chick, and she didn't know her place. Side chicks are to be halfway seen, halfway slept with, halfway valid, halfway relevant. Non-motherfucking factors. But Tasha said to her, and she kept saying, you're a mistress, you're not a side chick. No, she is a side chick, because once you found out, you're a side chick. And that's what he kept calling you every chance he got. So I don't get why she has this holier than thou personality, attitude. Like, no, I don't. He came to me, he sought me out, he wanted me, he loves me. And it's just like, girl, stop. You were supposed to give him head, shut up. Give him sex, shut up. Not get pregnant, shut up. Let's go out.
Police reported ahead.
Olive Garden and shut up. Let's go get you some Red Robin, shut up. Let me sex you down, dick you down, and shut up. And she has done that for the most part. And she said he has paid her bills. But it's just, Martell is just a messy individual, and I feel for any woman that thinks otherwise. And Arionne, I hope she realizes her worth at some point and understands her role in all of this, and understands her current role. Because now you're the leftover, might as well, we got a kid together, and keep giving me head. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. Like, comment, subscribe. Am I wrong? Is it me?